Hello and welcome to my channel. The world is closer to World War III than can be imagined. Why do I say so? When Putin invaded Ukraine on 24 February 2022, little did the world know that the conflict could devolve towards World War III. Before now, Russia annexed Crimea, and Crimea had a number of Russian military bases, especially Sevastopol, the main port and largest city in Crimea, was the home to the Russian Black Sea Fleet. The 1997 partition treaty between Ukraine and Russia allowed Russia to continue to have its fleet in Sevastopol. The treaty or the lease was extended to be renewed in the year 2042. But surprisingly, Putin in 2014 seized Crimea from Ukraine. Also in 2014, Russia backed Ukrainian separatists in Donetsk and Luhansk to declare independence. It later became Donetsk People's Republic and Luhansk People's Republic. The two republics later opted to join Russia. On 24 February 2022, when Russia fully invaded Ukraine, Russia was occupying 42,000 square kilometers of Ukrainian territory. And this included Crimea, part of Donetsk, and part of Luhansk. But after the invasion, an additional 119,000 square kilometers was added by the full annexation of two more Ukrainian oblasts, Kherson and Zaporizhia. This brought the total land area of Ukrainian territory occupied to 161,000 square kilometers, or 27% of the total land area of Ukraine. So far, 93% of Luhansk and 54% of Donetsk are under Russia. They are part of the Donbas region. At the onset of the invasion, Russia wanted a quick victory and to force Ukraine to negotiate. So Russia stormed Ukraine with 200,000 soldiers supported with tanks, missiles, and aerial support, and they marched towards Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. But Russia underestimated the resistance of Ukraine. So when Russia was insisting on both parties coming together to negotiate, Ukraine was adamant, especially because the USA and NATO did not want Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian leader, to chicken out. They promised to support him both financially, militarily, and otherwise. Consequently, the three negotiations entered into by Russia and Ukraine to end the war, which took place in the Gomer region of Belarus, the next in Belarus-Ukrainian border, and Istanbul, all failed. The meetings took place between 28 February and April 17, 2022. Since then, several countries have been holding discussions with the two parties on how to achieve an amicable settlement. Unfortunately, it appears there is a stalemate. Let us look at the Russians' position and the Ukrainian position. 1. Ukraine should accept Crimea as Russian territory. That's one of the main points which Russia is insisting on. 2. Ukraine should agree to change its constitution to enshrine neutrality. 3. For Ukraine to accept Donetsk and Luhansk as independent states and other parts annexed during the invasion, in particular Zaporizhia and Kherson in the Donbas region, as part of Russia. While on the part of Ukraine, Ukraine says they will not and are not ready to give away their land, nor accept that the territories belong to Russia. 2. That even though they may accept neutrality, but Moscow cannot be trusted. And 3. That Putin is wanted for war crimes. So why negotiate with him? Now that the meetings have all failed, and Russia saw that quick victory could not be achieved immediately, they decided to retreat, and or they were beaten back from Kyiv, Kherson, Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Sumy, and Zhytomyr Oblasts by the Ukrainians. They withdrew to strategize. Russia decided to consolidate on Crimea and then to fully take over the Donbas region, which were primarily Russian-speaking. Also to completely capture the Black Sea, Mariupol, Melitopol, Bakhmut, and by so doing to divide Ukraine into two technically divisions. Russia is also launching an attack on Odessa and gradually picking out the cities in the south and eastern Ukraine one after the other. The Russian incursion is coming at a time when Ukraine has no more firepower and the terrain in the Donbas region is muddy. At the start of the Russian-Ukraine war, NATO and USA gave a lot of support, totaling about 138.17 billion euros in the form of weapons, financial and humanitarian support. The United States topped the list of the contributors with 73.17 billion euros, while the EU came second with 35 billion euros. Over 1,640 battle tanks and combat vehicles have been delivered to Ukraine. That notwithstanding, Ukraine is requesting for more weapons and bullets in preparation for the counter-offensive in spring, when it is hoped that the land will be drying up. As of 15th April 2023, the battle is still very fierce in the Bakhmut city, with Russia currently controlling more than 85% of Bakhmut. The Ukrainians want to hold on to Bakhmut because it is the gateway to Kyiv. All the same, war generals and analysts have advised that Ukraine and Russia should return to the negotiating table. They pose certain questions which Volodymyr Zelensky and by extension the Ukrainians should answer. 1. Why should Ukrainians allow their country to be destroyed just because of a refusal to accept neutrality and not belong to NATO? 2. How many more people, especially Ukrainians, should be allowed to die for this cause? As of April 2023, it is alleged that the death toll is 10 Ukrainians to 1 Russia. 3. How do you rebuild Ukraine after the war? 4. How do you rehabilitate all those that have left Ukraine? 5. Why should Ukraine allow itself to be used by America as a proxy to get a strategic defeat of Russia? 6. How will Ukraine pay back the aid and loans accumulated for the execution of this war? In the meantime, Russia is insisting that if there is no agreement, it will push until 150 kilometers to NATO territory away from the Donbas is achieved, and also to push to the Moldova-Ukraine border. In all of this, war is avoidable. There is no point in testing weapons of mass destruction. Why should people be made to die or be injured unnecessarily? Peace is the best, and let all lovers of peace intervene. We want peace. Thank you.